Hey, it's us again on our next variety show. So we're going to play 2 fiddle tunes for you guys that we've recently learned. And we're also excited because we've been working on 2 lyrical tunes that we really enjoy. So we're hopefully going to post those soon. So what are we going to start out with? Green Willis?
Let's do Green Willis. So Green Willis is a tune I actually learned like 3 weeks ago. We are lucky enough to live in a region where there's other musicians. And we were playing with the Dog Branch Cats, primarily composed of the Lydons, the family of the Lydons, as we have said before. And they asked us to come play with them, kind of impromptu, and they played this song. And of course I had never played it, so I kind of just barely kept up. And then after it was over, I said, hey, that song's really cool, can you teach me one-on-one? So we learned this song from them maybe a few weeks ago. So now we're gonna tear into it and see what I can't do to it.
And the name of it is Green Willis.
Yeah, I don't know if I said that clearly. Green Willis. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fun tune to play, and I believe that's a dance tune, so if we played it a little faster, you could dance to it.
Alright, so now we'll do another fiddle tune. This is called Colored Aristocracy, and we also kind of learned it from the same people. I think it was this week, about a week ago, we were asked if we wanted to join in and play at the dance, and so we said yeah, and so they emailed us some tunes ahead of time and said, hey, this is kind of what we think we want to play, and so we learned this one, and this one really stuck out to me. It's a really sweet little tune, fun tune to play. Always waiting on the fiddle player.
I know, I'm trying to get in some semblance of tune. Okay, let's see how this one goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. good one. Also another dance tune. You just had to play it a little faster.
Yeah, a little bit. So stay tuned and we'll answer some questions. So as promised, we're going to answer some questions now. And thank you guys for submitting these questions. I think this is really cool, and it's a way for you guys to kind of have a voice in this video. So the first one we're going to answer is by Tommy Williams, and Nancy Webster also kind of made a second to this question, so I'll include her on it. So it says, "Hi girls, I have a question. Have you ever been courted by a recording company? I really think you girls deserve a bigger spotlight. Thanks for sharing your music with us." So first of all, thank you. That's really sweet. So we've never talked to like a professional recording company. So the what we recorded our CD with is Stamy Branch Records, which is our uncle who lives like 100 yards from us. He kind of had a studio in his house. When they built his house, they kind of built a studio in there. And so he recorded it for us. Mm-hmm. So we've never, talked to a big recording company. But thank you. That was really sweet.
Yeah, that's nice. That makes me feel good about myself. So, Miguel, I will answer this one. It says, "I guess this is more for Katie. Besides practicing and learning new songs, what is the most helpful thing that you have done to get better at the fiddle? Certain exercises, playing with people?" I would say, and it's not that I'm great at doing this, because sometimes I'm not, but I would say regardless of what instrument you're playing, you must practice. You must put in the hours. Whether it's fun, whether it's not, you must practice, and it's important to get to know your instrument and feel comfortable with it. It's really what's going to make you a good player, is that comfort with whatever instrument you've got. So maybe learn more about how it's made, learn about where it come from. That's the basics probably with any instrument you're going to play. And then another thing that I've done is bowing exercises. You can do that with a bow in your hand, and you don't even have your fiddle up here. You just have a bow in this hand, or you can do that with a pencil. Because there's a lot of different ways to bow. There's multiple different techniques. If I could just get my bow, on how to hold it. I think this is the Russian grip that I've been doing lately. But it's all about the weight. You should be able to move this bow back and forth and never move your wrist. It's just practice, even with a pencil, moving the muscles that you use, working my hands up here. And like I said, that can be done on a pencil, just stretching. So I would say the most helpful thing is just practice, work the muscles that you're using, and then once you feel comfortable with that, go out there, play with other people, jam with other people, and when you get to put those skills into action, then you see, oh, that didn't work as much as what I thought it was going to, or yay, this is really good. So it's always a work in progress, but I would say practice, work the muscles, play with other people, see where you can correct. That's what I would say. I'm going to put the bow down before I hit someone.
So the next question is by Steve Allen, and he says, "Do you ever write music, and if you do, are you putting the words together before the tune? Or is it different for each song? Do you like to bounce ideas off each other, or are you more likely to go off alone when you are putting ideas together in your head before you talk to the other about what you have been thinking?" So for me, it's excuse me. It's kind of half and half. So a lot of the times I'm just strumming out a tune on my guitar, and then I find that tune and I'm like, I like it. And then I might keep it in my head for months before I put words to it. But probably more often than not, it might be that I write the words first. And then I kind of try to mess around finding a tune that, not only will the words fit in the measure, but also just a tune that I like. And we really don't bounce ideas off each other that much. It's mostly been... except for a little bit, a couple times, but it's mostly been, we'll go off by ourselves, and then, we might be bouncing ideas off each other when she's writing a, fiddle break to a tune I've wrote.
Right, I would say most of the composing, unless it's me writing fiddle tunes, is done by ourselves. And I personally, a lot of the times, will write the words before I ever find a tune, and then there's a lot of adjusting after that, but I don't play a rhythm instrument, so it's very hard for me to get a chord progression in my head, and I think other melody players that don't play rhythm would probably say the same thing. But okay, so the next question by Beth. "I'd be interested to know the strongest influence both musically and vocally for each girl." So while I'm talking, I would just say personally, and I know everyone probably knows what I'm going to say, my strongest influence was definitely my grandpa. And as I've gotten older, the influence is stronger and stronger, because I'm at a point now where I'm listening to a lot of his old music, and that's just even more inspirational. So I would say the inspiration and the drive come from, and actually the influence of where my musical abilities come from. I would say, personally, it come from him.
And for me, I would say, of course, as well, my grandpa, because we grew up in a musical family, but also just all the music I was exposed to as a child. There was there was almost constantly music in the background, and so we were just constantly exposed to music.
All kinds of music, too.
Right,
yeah.
Which looking back was just awesome, and so that really influenced, me, just the music that I heard, but also, Pap, Grandpa, we called him Pap, playing, when they would get together and play on Sundays and we were always there, that was a huge influence because I was actually there, not just listening, but I was present with the people playing music.
Okay, Evan Krupenbach. I just wanted to say your last name. I love that last name. Okay. Let's just start that over. To what and or to whom do you attribute your awesomeness? Again, I would say me. No, I'm joking. I would say Pap again. I don't think I'm that awesome. But if someone else does, I would say it comes from Pap, it comes from my family, it comes from those people who are around me who just make me want to be a better person,
Thank you, Evan, first of all.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's so sweet. And for me, I would say mostly the same thing, but also, to Pap, but just the people who are around me. Like, I kind of just think of myself, not to get poetic or corny here, but I almost think of myself as just like a vessel. I've just kind of been blessed with this talent, and I love it and enjoy it. But all these other people, especially my parents and my grandpa, and family, but all the people like you and like all the people who have sent in these questions who are so nice and lift us up, that's, where I attribute a lot of my awesomeness because, it keeps me going. If you guys didn't want to watch these videos, or our Facebook page or whatever, there'd be no point to do it, so...
Yeah, so thanks again so much, because this earnestly means so much to me. It makes everything that I'm doing, it lets me know that, wow, people actually like it and they care, and maybe by some small effort that I'm doing something bigger than myself. So that's my little teary moment there. So thank you.
And stay tuned because we're going to have an interview with Little Joe and you don't want to miss it. So as we promised earlier, we're going to interview Little Joey, but I can't find him. The last time I seen him, he was outside playing with his Tonka truck, so we'll just have to see.
Hello! Oh, sorry, did I scare you there? Oh, whew, I bet I'll stop playing this. So true, this case, let me have a break happen with my Tonka trucks. So, if we're gonna do this, I could come in.
No, you better go around. We'll wait.
Okay, sorry I'm late. Hold on.
So, we wrangled Little Joey in here, so now we can do the interview. So, this will be a short interview, and the first question is, what is your current job, and what do you do for work?
Well, that's easy. Currently, thank you, by the way. Thank you. Currently, I make joy for Katie. I have a 4th grade education. I'm 7, and I used to work at a preschool. No, actually, I was a preschooler. Never mind. Pretend I didn't say it. You could edit that out. So, I currently just make joy for Katie down in the very dark place called the hall.
Okay. So, the next question is, what is your worst fear?
Well, that's easy. Thank you again for asking. Raisins. Folks, raisins are scary. Why would you have a raisin when you could have the grape? It's awful. They're dried out. They're gross. People eat them. They're nasty. I mean, when you see a fly flying in the sky, I think of sky raisins. I mean, it scares me to think people could go that far. So that's scary.
Okay, I can see that. So the last question, really could be a question or a comment, whatever you want, is do you have any last remarks before we end the interview?
Actually, yes. This might be a little bold, but I'd like to introduce my girlfriend, Susie.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
She's so
Susie.
nice. I mean, her shirt says Harvard. She's a smart old gal. She doesn't talk a lot. She doesn't fuss over her hair a lot. She went to Harvard, so this is my girlfriend, and I just wanted to introduce her. She's a stiff old lady, but we're really good buddies, so that's the last thing I have to say.
Okay. Alright.
Okay then, well I guess I'm gonna be going because this interview is gonna be adjourned.
Okay.
Next time, folks.
Alright, so that's all we have for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it.